Welcome to this second lecture. In this lecture we going to discuss about different methods of cooking. Like classification of foods, cooking methods also having different classification. These are all the different cooking methods for making foods, like baking, sautéing, boiling, etc. Why we should do cooking? Due to cooking food becomes tender, soft and easier to chew digest. It helps to destroy harmful microorganisms and making the food safe and sterile. Cooking improves the appearance of the food and enhances the flavor of many dishes. It increases the digestibility of starchy foods and it enhances through release of starch from cereal grains. Through cooking can create variety of meals. Heat may be transferred to the food during cooking by conduction, convection, radiation or by the energy or microwaves, electronic heat transfer. Water or steam and air or fat or combinations of these are used as cooking media. Moist heat involves water and steam. Air or fat are used in dry heat. Foods can also be cooked by microwaves. Objectives of cooking: improves the taste and food quality of the food. It destructs the harmful microorganisms. It improves digestibility. It increases variety of the food. It increases consumption of food. It increases the availability of food. It increases the concentration of nutrients. Limitation of the food. Due to cooking, most of the water-soluble vitamins can be leached out, when we using high water content. And vitamin A and C reduce due to oxidation and heat sources. Because these two vitamins are highly sensitive. While exposed to high heat, these can be destroyed. And the quality of protein can be reduced due to destruction of amino acids. This is the classification of cooking methods. Cooking methods are classified into three groups, viz. Moist heat method, dry heat method and combination method. Coming to the moist heat method, air or water used as cooking media, they were boiling, simmering, poaching, stewing, blanching, steaming and pressure cooking. And coming to the dry heat method, air or fat used as cooking media, they methods were roasting, grilling, toasting, baking, sautéing and frying. And both moist heat and dry heat combination method is called braising. Boiling is a method of cooking foods by just immersing them in water at 100 degrees Celsius and maintaining the water at that temperature till the food is tender. Foods that are cooked by boiling are rice, eggs, dals, meat, roots and tubers. Merits of boiling: it is a simple method. It does not require special skill and equipment. Uniform cooking can be done. Demerits of boiling: continuous excessive boiling leads to damage in the structure and texture of food. Loss of heat-labile nutrients and water-soluble nutrients. Time consuming: boiling takes more time to cook food and fuel may be wasted. Water-soluble pigments may be lost. Next one is simmering method. In this method, foods are cooked in a pan with a well-fitting lid at temperature just below the boiling point 82 to 92 degrees Celsius of the liquid in which they are immersed. It is a useful method when foods have to be cooked for a long time to make it tender, as in the case of cheaper cuts of meat, fish, cooking custard, kheer, vegetables and carrot halwa. This method is also employed in making soups. Merits of simmering method: foods get cooked thoroughly. Scorching or burning is prevented. Losses due to leaching is minimum. Demerits of simmering method: there is loss of heat-sensitive nutrients, due to long period of cooking. Takes more time and more fuel is required. Next one is stewing. Here, food is cooked in a pan with a tight-fitting lid, using small quantities of liquid to cover only half the food. The liquid is brought to a boiling point and the applied heat is reduced to maintain the cooking at simmering temperature. The food above the liquid is cooked by the steam generated within the pan. Apple, meat along with some root vegetables and legumes are sewed. Merits of stewing: loss of nutrients by leaching does not take place. Flavor is retained. Demerits of stewing: this process is time consuming and there is wastage of fuel. Next one is poaching method. This involves cooking in the minimum amount of liquid at a temperature of 80 to 85 degrees Celsius. That is below the boiling point. Foods generally poached are eggs, fish and fruits. Merits of poaching: no special equipment is needed. Very quick method of cooking and therefore saves fuel. Easily digestible since no fat is used. Demerits of poaching. It is bland in taste. Food can be scorched if water evaporates due to careless monitoring. Water-soluble nutrients may be leached into the water. Steaming has two types: wet and dry steaming. In wet steaming, steam is direct contact with food material. Whereas in dry steaming, food does not contact with food material. It needs special equipments. In grilling method, food gets cooked by radiation process by placing food between hot surfaces. In toasting, bread slices kept in between heated elements to prepare bread toast. Roasting or pan broiling are same method of cooking. Here the food is cooked by uncovered heated pan. Usually ground nut and chapati are cooked by this method. Satining method is used with minimum amount of oil to cover the base of the pan. Usually primary cooking like vegetables are cooked by this method. Frying has two types. In shallow frying, minimum oil is used. In deep fat frying, food is totally immersed in oil. In combination method, both moist heat and dry heat method used for cooking is called braising. Vermicelli, payasam and upma are cooked by this method. Microwave cooking. Here magnetron energy is converted to electrical energy and microwaves reflected by metals and absorbed by the food. Solar cooking done by non-conventional sources of energy using sunlight. This instrument made up of black color painted insulated box with glass top cover. We see obtain up to 140 degrees Celsius temperature for cooking. Thank you for the patience.